What's up, y'all? So this week we're going to look at a Hebrew word, that being harpu, Harpu. And in English we recognize that as be still or be quiet. Now, a little more depth of that word is a little more context for how we can understand it is to let go of or release. And those actions are implying to the active choice to relinquish control and trust God. So keep that in mind as we read Psalm 46:10. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. So in Psalms 46, he's speaking to the Israelites, and also applies to us as much as anybody else when he's saying this. Be still and know that I'm God. So if we look at what Harpu actually tells us, which is actually what will be in place of be still, he's saying that we should actively understand the fact that we're not in control, give up our possessive abilities and our possessive traits of control, and recognize God for being in control as he is. And then following that, and know that I'm God. From my understanding, that's speaking to the sovereignty of God, and sovereignty meaning that he is in control of all things. He is all-knowing, all-powerful. And basically what he's getting at here is we should humble ourselves to the point to where we understand that we're not in control, and we understand that he is. And then I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. So after everything's said and done, God's going to be worshipped by everybody. Every knee will bow, every tongue confess. And we should really go through life recognizing that as far as that goes. And I feel like on a surface level, this verse could also be taken a little more lightly, a little more of a shallow message in here as well. And I feel like the shallow message applies to me as much as anything else does. Be still and know that I'm God. You're literally saying to be still. Having a young business like I do, and being young myself, still immature in a lot of aspects, and lacking a lot of wisdom in a lot of aspects as well. But man, it's hard for me to be still in any situation, and just relax. And I really don't know what to tell you that I would do to relax, because I'm always on the go, always doing something. My mind's always racing about what I'm going to do next, the anticipation of what's coming up next. And the way I try to operate my business is I don't own this business. God owns this business. I'm just solely a manager for it. And the way I have to keep that in check is I wouldn't have any ability if it was up to my own self. I wouldn't have any desire or drive to do what I do if it wasn't for the grace of God blessing me with that. And I dang sure wouldn't have any skill with it. I mean, I don't know who in the world wants to be outside when it's 100 degrees, wearing long sleeves and long pants and running a torch or welding. And by the grace of God, that's a gift that I have to want to draw near. And I can't look at that as something I've accomplished. Obviously every day you should get up, work for the Lord, and do all you can do. Work to your full potential. But you have to understand that you're not accomplishing things on your own. You have to understand that God has a role in all things that you do. And I feel like that's what that verse is telling us, because it doesn't say in here that to be still and know that I am God, and one day you'll be exalted. We're not worthy of that. That's God's place to be exalted. He's going to bless us in many ways. That's not always going to look the same for everybody. That's not always going to be comfortable to everybody. And that's basically all I have for this week. I just want to encourage you in that. If you're getting caught up in the day-to-day life, just relinquish control to God, as far as that goes. And don't put so much pressure on yourself to make things happen, to try and make something out of nothing, because that's not your duty. That's out of your capability. Like I said, take advantage of every opportunity that's given to you, that's put in front of you in a wise manner. Pray for wisdom. That'll be given to you. just don't think too highly of yourself, but more importantly than that, think highly enough of God, and know that He has all things in His hand. And I guess that's this week's message. That's just a welder's perspective on that. If y'all have any comments or questions, whatever, reach out to me, let me know. I appreciate y'all checking it out. Thanks.